no more. It's time for them to go. It's pressure. Run them. Real pressure. In a minute, what run them? Lee, what run them? Kingston, run them. Nespo, run them. Sinjar, run them. Grenadiers, run them. Run them. Well, the government just don't care. They don't care. They want to keep us living in fear. That's all they want in the country. Every time you go and protest, there's a problem. Labor police, they come and make an arrest. Yes. When they violate and we try fight, only looking for justice and right. When we talk, they tell us, shut up. Standing the police full like we are. Oh, God. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run your LP out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run your LP out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
Run your LP out of your yard.
When the children cry, we don't get real.
Run your LP out of your yard.
How you run them?
Out of your yard.
I run them.
Out of your yard.
I run them.
Out of your yard.
Run your LP
out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
How you run them? From
out of your yard.
Run your LP
out of your yard.
Run Camelo.
Out of your yard.
Run Sabato.
Out of your yard.
Run Ralphie.
Out of your yard. Out of your yard.
Run Luke Brown.
Out of your yard.
Run Brewster.
Out of your yard.
Run Carlos.
Out of your yard. Out of your yard.
Run them.
Run them. Morning again. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the New Times program, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and wherever you are, it's always a pleasure having you here on the program, joining us here on the program. Of course, normally on a Tuesday, we're joined by the members of the New Democratic Party, chairman, deputy chairman. But unfortunately, this morning, might not be able to have them on the program today due to some other pressing engagements. But what I want to do in the absence of the members of the New Democratic Party on the program today is, of course, highlight for you and feature, for the benefit of those of you who may have missed it, that tremendous village meeting in East Kingstown, Mala Village last night with the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble. We're going to give you some of that here on the program today. I want to play for you, obviously, Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble. I want to play for you on the program today as well. The Vern Gibson Villux, maybe squeezing as many as the presentations, but also there was a very special message presentation made last night at that village meeting of the New Democratic Party in East Kingstown by former Prime Minister of St. Lucia and head leader of our sister party, the United Workers' Party of St. Lucia, the Honorable Alan Chastney, was at that meeting last night and gave a very stirring message for the Vincentian public, not just those in the constituency of East Kingstown, but a very stirring message for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to play that for you too as well today and play as much of the presentations that I can today. Let me big up Fitz for what, again, has been another dynamic, energy-filled meeting last night. The New Democratic Party continues to spread the message of hope and change across this country. However, I think that is going to be the final village meeting. Then we now head into the carnival season. So we'll take a break from those village meetings as we now head into the carnival season. And after that, after the carnival is over, ladies and gentlemen, it's back into the swing of things. And we're going to, of course, obviously, knock it up into a higher gear. Because we know, right after the carnival, things are going to ramp up and amp up, as they say, even more into election mode. Because we're getting closer and closer for the man being able to finally call us and tell us when that date will come. Many predictions are already out there. Because after Carnival, September comes, school open, who knows, he might not want to disrupt the students. But if we take him to his word, and that's the funny thing about it is we can't always take him to his word because we know how he say he does lie about certain things. So we can't really take him to his word. But if we are to take him to his word, that he's not going to capitalize on the 3-month grace period, that pretty much leaves Carnival out the door. September, and we're looking at October, November, December. We know what comes in October, the big grand stage of independence. We're seeing slowly but surely things are falling in place in terms of their candidate selection. We know that they now have the 2 Grenadines seats candidate selections done with, but we're still looking at other constituencies, especially who is really going to come up against Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, who continues to hold form, the Rock of Gibraltar, for the New Democratic Party in the Kingstown seat. That seat has been there in the grasp of the New Democratic Party for quite a number of years now. So we wonder, but we know, once we see those seats falling into place in terms of candidate selections on their side, and like my predictions are, if we see that falling into place just before independence, then who knows? We can look for some major grandstanding for independence, because that might be the last chance and last opportunity for him to stand on the grand stage as the Prime Minister. And we know what normally comes with that. And we might even hear an announcement, and then we jump in straight into full-blown election campaign. But that's just my prediction. So until then, we will continue to ready ourselves. We will continue to prepare. Go out to the registrations. Make sure that every young person who is at the age of 18 and eligible to vote are registered in your constituency to vote. Go out, do the canvassing, do the preparations, get on board, join up with the New Democratic Party, support your candidates in the constituencies, and let's get ready right after the carnival to hit the ground and get ready for elections in this country. This is the year. We know it's been coming, and we know now it's even closer. We know the man and them under pressure, serious pressure. They can't seem to put down any sort of good, proper PR campaign to help them, to boost them heading into the general elections. The numbers continue to trend in the favor of the New Democratic Party. Again, the numbers continue to trend in the favor of the New Democratic Party. And not just in 1 or 2 constituencies, but in all constituencies, the numbers continue to trend in favor of the New Democratic Party. The people want the change. This is the year for it, ladies and gentlemen. I have a quick caller. Let's take this call quickly. Let's see who we have. Caller?
It's only troublesome me calling. Good
Man,
morning to my brother. Good morning to you.
Nothing about you troublesome when it comes to calling me on this program at all, my brother. Welcome.
I know that. I only put in the legs, my brother. I only put in the legs.
Welcome, welcome.
I listen to you this morning, and the way you're putting forward, you're laying down your track for this morning to run on it. It's really amazing how good you are at it. Here the reason why. My brother, we as a country say we want change. And the least chance some of us get, we're ready to deal with the NDP and jump in the NDP truth. We sometimes, I don't wonder if we don't forget, is Ralph has been in power for 25 years. No, no, brother.
Correct.
25 years. And but when some of us to know that this man was able to get into power, because he's in office, he's in power. He came down to judges and the whole entire country and all in the process. You think that is an easy man and the hold on. The NDP do that damn good job. Sorry, we'll use the word. Damn. They do that great job. NDP guys, trust me, you are keep fighting a good fight because trust me, if this man was able to get away.
Hello, Bigger, you still there? Ah, boy, seems like we have a bad connection there. Wait, Bigger. Call me back. All right, call me back. Because he was breaking up there in the initial stages. So it seemed like we may have had a bad connection there with him. But feel free to call me back. But he was saying that the NDP has been doing a good job. Sometimes they say, boy, you can't blow your own horn. You have to let others blow your horn for you. I say nonsense. I say we must continue to let people know and to show people You think all of these village meetings is just by chance? When you look, ladies and gentlemen, of the track record since the last general elections of the New Democratic Party, since the last general elections, the NDP has been campaigning steadily. The NDP hasn't really taken any sort of a break to say, well, boy, let we ease off and let we wait until the election to start campaigning. Look at the amount of major rallies the New Democratic Party has had on stage since the last general elections. That is to show you. Caller, hello.
Yes, it's me. I don't know what reason we call this dropout just like that. But I had to call back to this Vincent and this point here. So
they're trying to badmine you. Big anytime they hear you call, they're trying to sabotage you.
Exactly, all the time. That is no love. It's a fact. It's a fact, my brother. So I'm telling you, so people, let me just rally with the NDP. The NDP is doing a great job.
You see, look, the sabotaging bigger again. It's a conspiracy. I don't know what it is at all. Big, I don't know what's going on here this morning. But you might have to call back again, because I don't understand. You're gone again. You're gone again. You're gone again.
To farm government, because they have been winning for all it.
Hit it. Nah, man. Nah, bigger, something wrong, man. As he Chinese man said, something wrong. I don't understand, but you can call me back. But like I was saying, the NDP has been constantly campaigning. When you look at the kind of turnout that the NDP has been having at its village meetings, that alone would tell you. All I can say is, folks, when you see Carnival done and the NDP start to roll out again, because we're taking a little break for the national festival of our country, Carnival. The man smart. The man know you can't mess with Carnival. He might quicker mess with Christmas, but you ain't messing with Carnival. But either which way, the NDP will continue to roll out its extensive election campaign. From the end of the last general elections, the NDP has been constantly campaigning. We've held massive rallies and village meetings right up until this point last night. And right after Carnival, we will continue to roll out even more. And when we do, the same energy and the same turnout that we've been seeing at these village meetings, the same hype and energy and enthusiasm that we've been seeing from NDP supporters and those who are still on the borderline, who are listening to the messaging and identifying with the message. The fact that the numbers continue to trend in favor of the New Democratic Party with young voters coming on board shows that the NDP's message is resonating with people and connecting with people, and people want the change. I ain't gonna lie, it helps that the Unity Labour Party has continued to fail the people year after year after year with broken promises and more pressure being applied to farmers, to teachers. You name it. They have been applying more and more pressure to the people of this country. It has been hard enough for Vincentians to survive economically in this country. It has been harder for Vincentians now, small businesses, young entrepreneurs, for their businesses to flourish and strive in this country, especially when you have a government that brought on more and more taxes on the people of this country. And when they wanted to play scapegoat with it and say, oh, it is not a tax, it is a fee, it is the same. It is the same as saying that it is a tax. When they came to Parliament and lied to you and tell you that the customs import service charge that they were going to apply on all things that are being imported into this country was not going to hurt the average Vincentian, it was a lie. Because months down the road, when we said, when all the stuff that they have, these supermarkets and shops and these retailers have on the shelf that were not affected at the time when the customs and import service charge were laid on the people of this country, was not going to hurt them at the time. But give just a few months down the road, when those stocks were sold out off of the shelves and importers had to import new stuff into the country, then automatically when those new stuffs hit the shelves, months after the tax was implemented, that it was going to hit Vincentians where it hurt the most, in their pockets. So at the time they were getting away with the lie, say, oh, you see, checking back as the price it was yesterday, still the same price today. But fast forward a couple of months now. Fast forward now. Vincentians are seeing a serious hike in the amount of monies that they have to spend for goods in the supermarket, and not just the supermarket, for almost every single thing that you have to import into this country, you are now paying more than you were months ago. That is labor working not for you, but against you. When fisher folk in this country were made all sorts of promises by the Unity Labour Party as how they're going to improve fisheries and give fishermen better equipment and better opportunities and more boats and all of that. They were telling you that out of the sweet side of their mouth. But on the sour side of their mouth, they were giving all sorts of fancy duty-free concessions to foreign companies to come here, which now in turn is competing against fisher folk in this country and farmers as well in this country. That is not labor working for you. That is labor working against you. That is why we must be ready to go to the polls and vote them out. Folks, as I said this morning, I want to give you some of the presentations from that very passionate village meeting last night in Mala, East Kingstown, with the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble. We were happy and thankful, being graced by the presence at that meeting by former Prime Minister of St. Lucia. He is also the party leader of the United Workers' Party, which is the sister party of the New Democratic Party. The Honorable Alan Chastney was at that meeting last night. And I want you to pay attention, because this is what he had to say. Listen carefully.
Good night, good night, good night. I bring you greetings from the United Workers' Party in St. Lucia. You've been our sister party for a very long time, back time of Sir John Compton and Sir James, when these were real leaders that mattered. These are people that when they spoke with integrity and they spoke with purpose. So first of all, let me say hello to my very dear friend, your political leader, Dr. Friday, person I've developed a personal relationship with, and a man I believe can take St. Vincent and the Grenadines to a new height. A man who has recognized that in today's world, one man cannot do it all by himself, and that you need a team of men and women who are committed to the cause with their different areas of specialty to take St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as I said, to new heights. We are living in very difficult times. Those times have been predicated on the fact that there's so much uncertainty in the world. Tonight, as we speak, in our region of peace for now, there are other people who are suffering tremendously around the world. And so my prayers go to those persons living in Gaza, those persons who are living in the Middle East, and those persons who continue to live in an environment of war. And so we have so much to be grateful for. But because our life is better than those around the world, does not mean that we should be satisfied with where we are today. One of the things I know that the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are grappling with is a citizenship by investment program. And I listened recently to what your Prime Minister had to say about CIP. And I just want to share some thoughts with you. First of all, it is not the CIP program that is the problem. In fact, your Prime Minister never said it was a CIP program. What he talked about was the corruption that was taking place in the CIP program. And that corruption is being caused by men, not by the program. Now, I want us to understand that when St. Lucia, which was late to the game, was deciding whether we should get involved with the CIP program, the decision rested on the fact that because we are part of an OECS treaty, it means that all of the persons who become citizens through the economic program automatically become citizens of the OECS. So we already had examples in St. Lucia where there were Chinese persons who obtained their citizenship in Dominica and came over to St. Lucia and opened up enough restaurants that we now have our own Chinatown in St. Lucia. You see how it works? Once you become a citizen of one, you become a citizen of all. And so the question that we asked ourselves in St. Lucia, is it right that the other countries have a citizenship by investment program and we're collecting money off of that program, money that they were not sharing, money they were keeping for themselves, but St. Lucia was still going to be a home for those citizens? Now, my brothers and sisters, the program has grown to the point that we are hearing about not hundreds of citizens. We're not hearing about thousands of citizens, but we are now hearing about hundreds of thousands of citizens that are coming to our shore. So there's a little saying in St. Lucia: sometimes you have to try to take sense from nonsense. You all have that here? Sometimes you have to try to make sense of nonsense. So listen to me for a second. Your Prime Minister says that he knows that his other brothers, comrades, will do nothing about the CIP program because they are benefiting. He said it's too sweet. That's what he said, you know. So in essence, what he did was he threw his comrades under the bus. It means that he has known for years what is going on. He said when the US government and the British government and the Canadian government and the Europeans told him to fix up the program, he said he knew they could not fix up the program because it was too sweet. So it means he knows that his comrades have been running the programs corruptly. In St. Lucia today, we have a government that has given away almost 50,000 passports. 50,000. $3 billion worth of passports. And we can't find the money. But Ralph told you he already knew that. He already knew that. So if Ralph really was against the CIP program, it means that if he already knew that his comrades were corrupt, what he should have done is gone to the OECS and asked them to amend the Bastille Treaty and not allow the CIP citizens of the other islands to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You see, you have to take sense from nonsense. When a man is telling you one thing because it's convenient for him today, to want to say he does not want the CIP program. But when it mattered the most, if he was genuine, if he really was against it, he would have made those changes already. The fact is, the CIP program is under a lot of pressure. And if we are going to survive the CIP program, we're going to have to do things differently. But that does not mean that St. Vincent and the Grenadines cannot benefit from it. But the difference will have to be, unlike Comrade Ralph, you will have to have leadership that's willing to make the ethical, moral, legal, right decisions that are going to be in the best interest of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have leaders in this region that continuously want to talk about our business is our business and not to mind our business. But in order for that to happen, we must mind our own business. And we must mind it well. So when you tell me that the US government now has to threaten the countries in the Eastern Caribbean who are doing CIP programs and are threatening them with a ban, a travel ban, that St. Lucians and Dominicans and Catitians and Antiguans will not be able to get their passport. It is not the CIP program that created that problem. It's greed, as Ralph said. It was too sweet, as Ralph said. Those are the things that he warned us about. But it does not make the program a bad program. I am proud that while I was Prime Minister of St. Lucia, we only had 850 passports that we approved. And we realized that the other countries were not doing the due diligence that they should have been done while they were approving thousands. But we have to hold each other accountable. We cannot wait for other people on the outside to hold us accountable. In today's world, everybody has to look for a solution. You think the CIP program is bad? So why is it that the President of America now has a golden passport? $5 million. But I want us to be truthful to ourselves. If we're going to run this program, we must protect our borders and we must respect the countries that we do work with. And our border must become the border in America. Our border must become the border for Canada. Our border must become the border for United Kingdom and for Europe. And we must manage our affairs. And that's why I say to you, I don't have any respect for your Prime Minister's position on CIP, because it's a position of convenience, and some people will go as far as to say that he's a hypocrite. That he's a hypocrite. And the fact is that he was willing to throw his own comrades under the bus just simply to be able to win an election here. Just the same way that he threw the governor of the central bank under the bus. But I want to ask you, what happened to that story? If all the things that he said that was so egregious, you're telling me Comrade Ralph does not have enough power to go to the OACS and make sure that the government of the central bank is gone? But he's still there. Do not be fooled. Some people will say whatever it takes to win an election. I want to say to you that it's very clear that you need new leadership in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You need fresh eyes. You need fresh energy. You need new leadership with a bigger vision for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And don't be fooled by the progress that you've had, because everything is relative in life. So I want you to know, United Workers' Party stands tall with you here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we both want to work together to bring about change and more prosperity to our region. And we want to make sure that we manage our affairs where people respect us and we are fair, and we make sure that we deliver to every single citizen in our country what they so richly deserve. Thank you very much.
All right. All you heard that? Hello? All you heard that? This is sometimes you need a fresh perspective, a view from the outside. That is former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Alan Chasney, outlining it clear. And like I said last night after, I can see it here again. Let them put that in the pipe and smoke it. They could twist here, they can twist there. But a hypocrite will always be a hypocrite. And that is why we need fresh leadership, new leadership, with energy, vision, and integrity to take St. Vincent and the Grenadines into the future. Because you see all of that nonsense there? That is what we need to vote against and to get rid of. The message is clear. And we thank our brother there from our sister party in St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and leader of the UWP, the United Workers' Party in St. Lucia, for joining us last night in East Kingstown to give that very stirring message to the people in East Kingstown and to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All you take heed. Take heed. We have 27 minutes after the 11 o'clock hour. We have more to come, because that was just the tip of the iceberg in the meeting last night, because we had some fiery presentations last night. And I'm going to play some of them for you here today for the benefit of those of you who may have missed it, and from the naysayers on the other side who like to say this and say that, where the NDP continues to elaborate and outline its plans for the overall development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to pick apart the lies and the continued failings by this Unity Labour Party government, who still want to come on podium and platforms and all over and parade and tell people what a wonderful job they've been doing, and continue to keep them there after 20-something years, when so many things have gone wrong in this country that they want to blame the NDP for. But you've been in office for 20-something years and can't fix half of the problems that you claim to see are the big problems that needed the big fix in this country, because you've just made a bad situation worse over 20-something years. And want to have the audacity to come to the polls again, to the people, and tell them, vote for you again for a sixth term. We're waiting for you to come Independence Day, because we know you're going to grandstand yourself. And then after that, we go into the polls. We go into the polls, and the people will send the message clear. It's the reason why the New Democratic Party continues to trend with the people in this country. And the numbers continue to show that. The same numbers that have them on the other side panicking. Because they know, from North Windward to North Leeward to Mariaqua to the St. George's. And don't talk about the Grenadines. The numbers will continue to trend in the favor of the New Democratic Party. But we must not just make it the popular vote. We must make sure that we put in place in every single seat, in every single constituency, an NDP candidate as the elected representative. It happened in the past, and the past has a funny way. They say history has a funny way of repeating itself. And I tell you this, the NDP has a chance again this year to bring home all 15 seats, because even in the Comrade seat, the David in the New Democratic Party, Chieftain Neptune, continues to trend in numbers upwards. While people are getting more and more fed up of Comrade, not just in the country, but also in his constituency. The numbers continue to show. Because while he is sacrificing numbers here and sacrificing numbers there, and sacrificing numbers in his own constituency, that in itself is also hurting him tremendously. Folks, this is the year for us to stand solidly behind the New Democratic Party. We take a break and we come back. When we come back after the break, I will play you the presentation from the man himself for East Kingston, the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, after this.
This election, I want to tell you one thing. One thing. You see, we Vinci, what? You see, we're not voting ULP again. Never. They want everything for themselves. Everything. They acting like SPG is theirs. But SPG belongs to we. But the yes, it's ours. Ours. People, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I don't like how Labour moving. Every time they have all the big meetings. Only for big money they spending. Put them alone. While things in the country getting rough. Poor people not making enough. I am appealing to every Vinci. Don't make Labour Party come by. Don't let them come. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run ULP out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run ULP out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
Run ULP out of your yard.
When the children cry, we don't get real.
Run ULP out of your yard.
How you run them? All
out of your yard.
I run them. All
out of your yard.
I run them.
Out of your yard.
Run ULP
out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
How you run them?
Out of your yard.
Run ULP
out of your yard.
Vinci people losing their mind. Things real rough. Things getting harder all the time. Harder. Poor people can't maintain their home. No. So many people struggling alone. It's pressure.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Bunady Supermarket in Kingstown, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices. At Bunady Supermarket number 2, located at Upper Middle Street, we are proud to serve you. We are second to none. Call us at 457-1616. We at Bunady Supermarket number 2 will always be here for you. Bunady Supermarket, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices.
Hi, hun. Can you pick up the kids today? I know you're headed to the gym and you have some errands to run, but I just got called into a meeting. Thanks, babe. Oh, you may need to stop for gas, too.
Stop for gas? Since switching to Sol, we have lots left in the tank.
At Sol, we're on a mission to give you great fuel economy for all life's journeys. So enjoy the journey. Choose Sol Go Further fuels.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's hide. Always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. For the people we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrate and come let your rhythm flow. Flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm Come let your rhythm flow.
There are many cleaning companies, but there is only one company that cleans, and that is Vinci Clean. So you don't have to wait for a season. Cleanliness is enough of a reason. Just finish building your dream home and wish to move in? Then Vinci Clean is for you. Do you have oil mark where that car is parked? New tiles just laid and want to remove tile grout, cement or paint? VinceClean is for you. Shampooing of chair sets, mattress, carpet, house cleaning, VinceClean is for you. So whatever cleaning you need and for the best prices and quality on the market, telephone 431-1360, 457-1649. VinceClean, 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 the best in service.
Get dinner and candles alight, popcorn for your movie night. One stop and get it right. It's that good. We've got what you're looking for. All the brands you love and more. Get everything at Massy Stores. Massy Stores is where you wanna be. We take care of you like family. We do all that we could to treat you like we should. It's that good, it's that good. That good. When you shop at Massy Stores. That good.
Massy Stores, our family serving your family.
Lewis Pharmacy. We specialize in friendly service with a personal, professional touch. Hence, we take pride in offering patient counseling on all prescription and over-the-counter products. We welcome inquiries on prescription drugs, vitamins, herbal preparation, fitness nutritional products, cough, cold, allergy, and all other health care products. For the convenience of our patients and surrounding community, we are situated uptown opposite the bus stop at Juicy Building. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Lewis Pharmacy.
Get value for your money. Shop at Richardson Motors.
Shop at Richardson Motors Limited and enjoy 3 services in one. Hop into our convenience store for a wide array of snacks, drinks, and toiletries. Visit our mechanic shop for a specialized treatment for your brakes, exhaust systems, and wheel alignment at our garage. But there's more. When you shop at Richardson Motors, get a free oil change service, clean, high-quality fuel, or shop from a wide range of automotive parts and accessories. We are conveniently located along the Arnesville Main Road. Drive on up.
Reliability, convenience, and variety.
Richardson Motors is your #1 stop.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket. 100% Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always save by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're #1. CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincent John, a supermarket for you and me.
Air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, disc pads and brake shoes, clutch discs, pressure plates, rotor plates, engine parts, fan belts, timing belts, oil seals, spark plugs, radiators, radiator hoses, water pumps, universal joints, suspension parts, KYB Japanese shocks for Toyota, Nissan and Suzuki, tie rods, rack ends, ball joints. You can also get accessories, cleaning supplies, polishes, titanium tint, black tint, Valvoline motor oils, Toyota and Honda motor oils, transmission fluids, Michelin wiper blades, headlights, corner lights, HID kits, HID bulbs and ballast, LED bulbs, and much, much more can be had at Automax Auto Parts. Automax goes the extra mile and spend the extra dollar to ensure that you get first quality Japanese auto parts. Come see the difference at our showroom opposite the basketball court in Camden Park. Call us at 458-2000 or 529-2070. Visit us on Facebook, Automax Auto Parts. Drive the extra mile to get the best first quality auto parts.
Please note that we open on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
I passed by a brethren the other day. If you see he plays, rat and cockroach racing, mosquito fighting one another for come knee in your ears, and the amount of woodlights I see, I had to wonder if them been in the wood with no attack and Billy Ark. I said, bye, call Flick.
For the eradication of pests, Flick is your answer. Before and after construction of your domestic and commercial buildings, Flick uses environmentally safe chemicals and keep washrooms fresh with the Aroma Odor Control and the FemCare Sanitary Disposal Systems. Call Flick Pest Control today at 457-1857 or click www.flickpestcontrol.com.
Memorial Funeral Home is dedicated to meeting the needs of our customers. We go above and beyond to ensure satisfaction and convenience. That is why we are extending our services to the diaspora, working with Caribbean Funeral Home in New York. Burial packages can now be completed in New York to cover burials in St. Vincent, and likewise, packages can be made in St. Vincent to cover burials in New York. Caribbean Funeral Home is located on 1922 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn. Call their office at 718-444-1818 or WhatsApp at 347-925-9557 or 347-231-5410. For more information, call our local office at 458-8888. Memorial Funeral Home. Quality, convenience, and affordability.
Randy Supermarket is perfect for all your grocery needs. We have a range of liquor, liqueur, and wines, fresh and quality bread, and our weekly specials will simply amaze you. Conveniently opened 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and Fridays and Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have competitive prices and friendly staff. Randy Supermarket, located at Lower Bay Street and Terrell Street. Call us at 456-2994. Randy Supermarket, where shopping is fun.
This election, I want to tell you one thing. You see, we Vinci, what? You see, we're not voting ULP again. Never. They want everything for themselves. Everything. They acting like SPG is theirs. But SPG belongs to we. But the dance is ours. People, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, I don't like how Labour moving. Every time they have all the big meetings, only for big money they spending, put them alone. While things in the country getting rough, poor people not making enough. I am appealing to every Vinci. Don't make Labour Party come by. Don't let them come. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run ULP out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run ULP out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
Run ULP out of your yard.
When the children cry, we just get real.
Run ULP out of your yard.
How you run them? All
out of your yard.
I run them. All
out of your yard.
I run them.
Out of your yard.
Run ULP
out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
How you run them?
Out of your yard.
Run ULP
out of your yard.
Vinci people losing their mind. Things real rough. Things getting harder all the time. Harder. Poor people can't maintain their home. No. So many people struggling alone. It's pressure. Things in the country keep getting dread. We keep fighting for daily bread. Year after year is hard to campaign. We can't take another 5 years again.
Welcome back to the New Times program, ladies and gentlemen. And as promised, after the commercial break, as we rejoin back, of course, we want to bring you more presentations by that dynamic village meeting held in East Kingstown in the village of Mala last night, put on by the New Democratic Party. The man of the moment, the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, had this to say last night at his village meeting. Stay with us.
Thank you, DJ. Mala Village, good night. Good night. Let me first of all recognize in our presence all of my colleagues, and let me observe the protocol by recognizing our vice presidents, Honorable Major Sinclair Leacock and Honorable Nigel Nature Stevenson. Let me also recognize former Prime Minister of St. Lucia and President and leader of the United Workers' Party, our sister party, Honorable Alan Chastanet. Let me recognize all of my colleagues, Brother Chieftain Neptune, the David, who is going to slew Goliath in North Central Wynwood. Let me recognize also Brother Keshaka Cupid from West St. George, Sister Lavon Velox from East St. George, and our fiery PR. Every time I have a meeting, Lavon, you have to come on my platform.
You have to come on my platform. And also our hard-working Secretary General, Brother Benton Smith. I am really happy that all of you are here tonight. And Mala Village, all the people of Mala Village, near and far, present and online, and all the persons from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let me say this, Mala Village has made history tonight. Mala Village has made history tonight. And let me explain to you the history that you have made. I have been reliably informed that it is the first time ever that a public meeting has been held on this spot in Mala Village. So you have made history. And I want to thank all of the residents close by. I don't want to start to call names because I know before I leave here, people are going to cuss me if I forget the name. I love me people and I love them bad. But I want to offer my appreciation to all of you. I know some of you are probably trying to sleep and the meeting is probably keeping you up. But we are keeping you up for very good reason. And we hope that the message will resonate. And the second reason why Mala Village has made history tonight is the first time in the constituency of East Kingston that we have had a former prime minister from one of our neighboring countries addressing a public meeting. And Brother Chastity, we appreciate this more than you can imagine. And I can tell you this, I am quite sure that your presence here tonight is going to work well in my favor as I ask the people to re-elect me as their representative in the not-too-distant future. Dirty whites are safe. Dirty whites are safe. But we're not taking anything for granted. Mala Village, I want to say to you tonight, and I am going to refer to my notes, which is a little uncharacteristic of me, because you know I like to come up and talk. But I want to keep my message short, sweet, and succinct, because I want to talk, well, I wish I could say with you, but eventually we would have some town hall meetings where we can have interaction. But for tonight, allow me to speak to you and to explain to you why you should give me your confidence and your support, and give the New Democratic Party by extension your support to represent you in government come next election. After 25 years in government, the Unity Labour Party and Ralph Gonzalez really don't care about us. They really don't care about us. They don't care about us. After the last 5 years, the Unity Labour Party and Ralph Gonzalez, they have deepened the us versus them phenomenon, is what I would call it. Never in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines I have seen and witnessed such a deep political divide among our people. And I am going to be bold enough tonight and say and put squarely at the feet of Ralph Gonzalez the person responsible for that deep political divide. They don't care about us. They have dissected this country into the government versus the people. And there's a plethora of evidence to verify what I just said. Let me just give you one. And I need for this to sink in. That wicked vaccine mandate that was imposed on our people by Ralph. And not only did he impose a wicked vaccine mandate, but he appealed the judgment. He appealed the judgment in the court case filed by the public servants, police, teachers, nurses, that was in their favor and that said that the government was wrong. He appealed it. That to me is the government versus the people. The Unity Labour Party has made too many broken promises to our people. And I know sometimes you don't like to hear us. Sometimes people meet me and they say, Bamble, we already know what the ULP has not done. Tell us what the NDP is going to do. But I feel compelled to remind you of some of the broken promises, particularly here in the village of Mala Village. I want to ask the people of Mala Village, the residents of Mala Village, to tell me, honestly speaking, you don't have to lie to me. Tell me, what has this Unity Labour Party government done for the community of Mala Village? I'm not even going to go back 25 years. Over the last 5 years. Broken promises. There are certain things which are unique to a community like Mala Village and which deserve priority. And I am going to touch on a few of them. I'm not going to be long because I know the weather and you have been very patient with us. Let me first of all talk about housing. You know, Ralph likes to walk around and brag and talk about how they have built so many houses and this and that. But in Mala Village, and this document that I'm going to refer to, I'm not afraid to hold it up. This is the Unity Labour Party's manifesto of 2020. In this document are highlights of what the Unity Labour Party promised us last election. We voted for them, so we expect them to keep these promises. Let me talk about housing. And the reason why I want to talk about housing, because in a community such as Mala Village, you can look around and see. You can see the topography, you can see the makeup of the area. It is very, very difficult to build a proper home in this area here, in this community. We have a lot of cliffs, a lot of steep embankments, and so on. On page 76 of the Unity Labour Party's manifesto of 2020, this is what Ralph and them said about housing. And I quote, the Unity Labour Party will carry out a low-income housing construction program in and around Kingston and its immediate precincts. As far as I know, Mala Village is one of the immediate precincts of Kingston. This is what they said they would do. You know. They would carry out a low-income housing construction program in and around Kingston and its immediate precincts to address further the housing needs of the urban working people and disadvantaged residents. Well, I think Mala Village qualifies as one of those areas that consist of considerable disadvantaged residents. Look, even as recently as a year ago, many homes in this community were severely damaged from beryl. And almost 1 year later to the day, we still have people in this community who have not seen one nail, one piece of lumber, one sheet of galvanized to fix their homes. I was talking to a lady in East Kingston just on the weekend. I won't tell you which area she lives because you might figure it out. The lady said to me, the assessors from the government came to her house and they looked and they took all their measurements and they made all their notes. She said up to now they have not come back. You know what she said to me? She said, Bramble, I am using tarpaulin to keep the rain out of my living room and my bedroom. And the tarpaulin can't do the job. So when I sleep at night and rain comes, she has to take a plastic shower curtain. A plastic shower curtain to cover up herself and her children from getting wet when they're in bed when rain falls. I'm not making up these stories. So when I tell you that the Unity Labour Party does not care about us. They do not care about Mala Village. You can begin to understand what I'm talking about. Let me quickly move on to infrastructure. And when we talk about infrastructure, we're basically talking about the roads, the bridges, the back walls, the drains, those kinds of things. In this constituency, we know that infrastructure is extremely important. Why? Again, because of the location of many of our communities, because of the topography. It is very important that people have proper back walls, that people have proper... The other day, about a few months ago, I went to a house in Mala Village right here, and I went in the back porch, and I won't say what I want to say, but I almost did something on myself. When I saw behind that back porch, the precipice and the drop-off, I'm like, Jesus Christmas. I could not live there because I'm afraid of heights. If I live in that house, I ain't going in that back porch. But the important story from that reality is that it seems to me that that house at any time can fall over that precipice. It is so precariously placed. It is so unstable because of the location. You look at all the drains in this community. In 2021, just after Soufre, a wall broke down, a retaining wall from the government road over in Walveru broke down. The wall fell on the woman's and the family's house. All they did, after a few months, they came and they moved the debris, the concrete debris. And up to this day, 4 years later, nothing has been done. And when I tell you they don't care about us, that is what I'm talking about. Let us move on quickly to the community safety. We are known for our community spirit. The constituency of East Kingston is by far the leader in this country, the leading constituency in this country when it comes to community life, when it comes to community spirit. And Mala Village is no exception. Everybody in Mala Village knows each other. And even if you don't talk to your neighbor because you might have a little argument, let anything happen in Mala Village and you will see how quickly everybody comes out to support and come together and help. Community spirit, community development is important. And one of the pillars for developing a proper community atmosphere and proper community life is safety. Safety. I have been your representative for almost 5 years now. And over that period of time, in Mala Village alone, a very small community, we had 2 young men killed in this community. 2 young men. The boy from Richie and what's her name right over there? And the murder that was committed right by the junction coming in here when the young man was leaving a function in Mala Village. And sometimes people are afraid to talk about these things, but I am not afraid because these are our realities and these are the unsavory and undesirable realities which for the most part have been created by this Unity Labour Party and for which they are responsible. They don't care about us. Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you that in this community of Mala Village, we know that small business, and Sister Lavon referenced the young man who came down with the pram with the snacks. Everybody hustling to make $1. Everybody hustling to make $1. But tell me, you live here, you tell me, in this community, how many small businesses, or any business for that matter, do you have operating in Mala Village right now? How many? I can think of one. Miss Joseph's shop right here. And the man with the pram. So, you understand? Thank you, Dirty White. Thank you, Dirty White. So, you understand what I'm talking about. And I know that I'm spending a little bit of time on this issue. But I want I want the message to resonate. I want the message to sink in that these guys in the Unity Labour Party, they don't care about us. They do not care about us. Listen, I am saying to you tonight, they're going to come and they're going to ask you for their support. But think about this. A government has been in power. Let me use the term power because he rules with power. A government under Ralph Gonzalez has been in power for 25 years. Think about it. 25 years. And now they're coming and telling you, asking you to give them another 5 years so they can make your lives better. So what have they been doing for 25 years? What have they been doing for 25 years? Brothers and sisters of Mala Village, I am telling you, you hear Dirty White say just now, me ain't have to worry, me safe, me don't win. We ain't playing that game. We're not playing that game because I will tell you this, and this is not to create any fear, but this is to heighten your level of consciousness. In my view, in my estimation, Ralph Gonzalez and the Unity Labour Party, they are more desperate now than in 2000 when they tried to get into office the first time. They are more desperate now. You know why? Because of the level of corruption and the level, the evidence that will be unearthed and the evidence that we will find when we get into office of their mismanagement of this country, of their misbehavior in public office. And that is why they are afraid to leave office, because they don't care about us, they care about themselves. Let me just quickly touch on a few things that we have in mind for the people of Mala Village to show you that not only do we care about you, but that we understand what meaningful social and economic development requires, especially in small communities such as Mala Village. I'm going real local tonight, so don't expect me to set a high academic speech from me. Tonight is not the time for that. Let me go back to housing. I showed you where they have failed miserably with regards to housing in East Kingston and in Mala Village. And I am saying to you, the New Democratic Party, with yours truly as your representative, will make sure that we provide proper housing for you. I made a point down in Roseau some time ago, and I will reiterate the point here tonight. Look, we don't have enough land space for everybody to build us an individual house. We just don't have the land space. But technology allows us to provide you proper housing in the form of medium to high-rise apartment complexes. When I made the point in Roseau, a fellow from the ULP, a good friend of mine, he called me and he started to carry on. He said, he made the point that I am always coming with these pie-in-the-sky dreams. But the very fact that he called me and expressed the fact that he listened to what I said told me that it is something that they know is possible, and they don't want to look shame when we come into office and make it work. Look, if you build a 3-story, I won't even go 4, a 3-story apartment complex with 10 apartments on each floor, that's 30 houses right there. 30 families right there. Simple, in a very small space. We ain't going out, we going up. It happens everywhere. And I am telling you, Mala Village, you could put your pot on the fire. Mala Village, the people of Mala Village will enjoy proper housing when the New Democratic Party forms government. Local government is something that I am very passionate about, because I am of the view, you could call it my philosophy or what have you, but I am of the view that too often our governments are too big and too centralized and too controlling. Why should you have to go into Kingston, into a minister's office to ask them for some galvanized and lumber to fix your house. Why? If we have effective local government, where we have our village councils or our community councils, then we can take care of our own affairs right here. And how will we do it? Major Sinclair Leacock talked about a constituency development fund, where every constituency will have its resources to undertake the developmental activities. We don't have to run go to Ralph. We don't have to run go to Saboto. And the people of the communities will select the people in the community to lead and to guide and to engineer that development. We also will develop the Cyanide Beach. I told you about that already. We have very big plans for developing the Cyanide Beach into one of the top tourist attractions in this country. And all of the surrounding communities will benefit. Mala Village, Roseau, Walvaroo, Behel will all benefit. People will get jobs, people will make money, you will have money in your pocket, and you won't have to go and beg anybody. We will upgrade the sporting facilities in this community. Can you imagine? I went up Top Village the other day, up in Village, and did a video to show people how dilapidated and how unkept and poorly maintained the Cyanide Hard Court is. And people start to come and tell me about, oh, the community can't do that for themselves. Can you imagine that? That facility is a government-owned facility. So I asked one person this question. I said, so you're telling me that when the girls' high school needs to be repaired, that the community should go and repair it? Or when the ministerial building, when the Prime Minister's residence need fixing, the community should go and fix it? It's a government facility. The government is responsible for maintaining all their facilities. We in the New Democratic Party will make sure that we properly maintain all of the sporting facilities and make sure that they are available and usable. The last initiative that I want to point out, because I have many more, but I know time is going. Culture. Culture. We know that East Kingston is the mecca for culture in this country. When you talk about steel band, you talk about mass men, you talk about singers and entertainers, you talk about music producers, you talk about dramatists, you talk about sculptors, you name it. Right here in Mala Village, we have two of the top mass producers in this country. Right in Mala Village. We have Violin Ralph and the Professionals, and we have Den and Imagination Band. Right here in Mala Village, from this area. There are other mass bands, but they're talking about Mala Village. In Mala Village, we have one of the top DJs in this country, in Hyper, right over there. Shane. In Mala Village, we have one of the top music producers in this country, Sean Beats, right there, and the Just Bus crew. I ain't talking about other areas, I'm not talking about Mala Village. But I want to make the point, because we also have some some of the top music producers in this constituency, close by. We are El Pang. We have Carbon Jams over in King Garden. We have Jesse Promotions, just in Cambridge, right down the road there. 4 of the top music producers right here in our community. Listen, let me tell all you when they talk about culture. But you know what? Let me leave that. But the point is, in the last budget, they approved money to build 3 cultural hubs, they call them. 3 facilities to accommodate our creative artists. And the intention is to put recording studios, to put an area that is soundproof, so if you want to practice to be a DJ, you ain't go humbug people. To put an area where people can learn to paint, another area where you could do your wood carving and so cultural hubs. But listen to this. These are the 3 areas that they identified. They identified one out in Bellevue, that is in Ralph constituency. And they identified 2 in North Leeward, one in Chomoka and one in Peterborough. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying that these communities don't deserve a cultural hub. But I asked the question in Parliament. I made the point and I said, listen, East Kingston is easily the cultural hub in this country. Why couldn't you consider putting one of those cultural hubs in East Kingston? They don't care about us. They don't care about us. You know what they told me? They said when they finish building the new port, and I don't know when that guy happened because that look like it mashing up more than it building. And I can tell you, the new Democratic Party government is going to have to fix that port down there. Mark my words. The new Democratic Party government will have to fix that port. But the point I was making is that, fix it and finish it. There you go. Thank you, Chieftain. The point I'm making is that their response in Parliament was that when they finish building the new port, the old port of Grenadines Wharf, they're going to develop that into a cultural area. So I said to them, that may be all well and good, but I am saying to you that Mala Village, Sion Hill, Roseau, this area in East Kingston deserves its own cultural hub, and you will get it. Believe you me, the new Democratic Party government will make sure that you have your cultural hub right here in this constituency, so that we can produce more Sean Beats, we can produce more El Pang, we can produce more Jesse Promotions, we can produce more Carbon Beats, we can produce more Peewee and more Whitey Cat in the Rain. That is what we will do. So I am saying to you, brothers and sisters, the ULP has shown us that they do not care. And you hear me repeating that over and over and over again. If you are in a relationship with somebody for 25 years, and every year, from the first year to the 25th year, every single year, things keep getting worse and worse and worse, what would you do? You would leave the relationship. You will cut them off. So I am saying to you, after 5 in a row, we have nothing to show. After 5 in a row, we have nothing to show. And that is why we must make sure that we register and we go out and vote solidly for the key. Make sure you register and you go out and vote, whichever constituency in which you find yourself. Vote solidly for the key. My message tonight is to let you know and to remind you that the time for change has come in this country. Do not sit at home and tell yourselves that we don't win and Bramble don't win. Because nothing will change if nothing changes. Let me repeat that. Nothing will change if nothing changes. So if you never voted before, make sure you go out and vote. We have to change our attitude. We have to change our mentality. We have to take back our country. And I am asking you tonight kindly to give the new Democratic Party that opportunity to help bring about that change that is so necessary in this country. that change that is going to take St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that is going to take East Kingston, and that is going to take Mala Village to higher heights. Brothers and sisters, I appreciate you here tonight. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope that you remember at least one thing that I said tonight, because my message is very important. We have to make sure that we send the Unity Labour Party home. After 25 years, it is time for them to go. So make sure you go out, vote for the key, vote for NDP, and make sure that we bring about that change. Thank you, good night, and God bless you.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the man of the moment, the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, making his presentation in his constituency of East Kingston in a village meeting in Mala last night. Folks, the message continues to be clear with the New Democratic Party. We had 16 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour. I'm looking to take the commercial break, and when we come back, I want to take some of your calls, and I want to move on with some of the other presentations that were presented last night at that village meeting. I want to see if I can also squeeze in Laverne Gibson Velox, maybe also the PRO and Chieftain Neptune, which all three had some very powerful things to say last night at that village meeting. So we want to move along nicely here on the program today. So let me take the commercial break. And when we come back, I mean, if there's anybody who want to jump in quickly and make a call, make a contribution here, you can do that quickly by calling me now live in the studio before we take the lunchtime commercial break. And we will continue with more of the presentations here on the New Times program today. So with that being said, let's take the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and we come back with more here on the New Times program. Stay with us.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Get dinner and candles alight, popcorn for your movie night. One stop and get it right. It's that good. We've got what you're looking for. All the brands you love and more. Get everything at Massy Stores. Massy Stores is where you wanna be. We take care of you like family. We do all that we could to treat you like we should. It's that good, it's that good. That good. When you shop at Massy Stores. That good.
Massy Stores, our family serving your family.
Lewis Pharmacy. We specialize in friendly service with a personal, professional touch. Hence, we take pride in offering patient counseling on all prescription and over-the-counter products. We welcome inquiries on prescription drugs, vitamins, herbal preparation, fitness nutritional products, cough, cold, allergy, and all other health care products. For the convenience of our patients and surrounding community, we are situated uptown opposite the bus stop at Juicy Building. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Lewis Pharmacy.
Building construction and maintenance presents its complications. Lane's Home Vision is your agent of support and solution. From conceptualizing to execution and completion, we will manage your project at no cost to you and can undertake any job. From small repairs to general renovation and full construction,
Contact us now at 784-493-3411 for your consultation and hear about our exciting offers awaiting you.
Randy Supermarket is perfect for all your grocery needs. We have a range of liquor, liqueur, and wines, fresh and quality bread, and our weekly specials will simply amaze you. Conveniently opened 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and Fridays and Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have competitive prices and friendly staff. Randy Supermarket, located at Lower Bay Street and Terrell Street. Call us at 456-2994. Randy Supermarket, where shopping is fun.
There are many cleaning companies, but there is only one company that cleans, and that is VinceClean. So you don't have to wait for a season. Cleanliness is enough of a reason. Just finish building your dream home and wish to move in? Then VinceClean is for you. Do you have oil mark where that car is parked? New tile just laid and want to remove tile grout, cement or paint? VinceClean is for you. Shampooing of chair sets, mattress, carpet, house cleaning. VinceClean is for you. So whatever cleaning you need and for the best prices and quality on the market, telephone 431-1360, 457-1649. VinceClean, 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 the best in service.
Introducing Kitty Care Plus Pico Actin Syrup and Mimglobin Liquid from Maya Organics PVT Limited. Kitty Care Plus is an optimum nutrient for growing children. It promotes physical growth and enhances intellectual performance. Pico Actin Syrup has a synergistic combination of cyproheptadine and B vitamins that help to improve appetite and body weight. And Mimglobin Liquid helps to optimize growth and builds immunity. Get yours today. Kitty Care Plus, Pico Actin Syrup, and Mimglobin Liquid. Available at leading supermarkets and pharmacies. Agent Bowman's Pharmacy. Call 456-2235.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. The people we will go all in, our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm come let your rhythm flow.
TK Grace and Company is the number one supermarket, 100% intention. The Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always save by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Grace and Company, and we are Vincent John's, a supermarket for you and me.
Get value for your money. Shop at Richardson Motors. Shop at Richardson Motors Limited and enjoy 3 services in one. Hop into our convenience store for a wide array of snacks, drinks, and toiletries. Visit our mechanic shop for a specialized treatment for your brakes, exhaust systems, and wheel alignment at our garage. But there's more. When you shop at Richardson Motors, get a free oil change service, clean, high-quality fuel, or shop from a wide range of automotive parts and accessories. We are conveniently located along the Arnesville Main Road. Drive on up. Reliability, convenience, and variety. Richardson Motors is your number one stop.
Since 2012, we have provided reliable, professional dialysis services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are now proud to offer you new solutions for your health problems. Each new solution is being delivered to you with the same high degree of care and professionalism. We also use the best technology in the delivery of our services. So, does your doctor need a precise view of what's happening inside your body? Let us perform an ultrasound for you. Ladies, if it's your breasts, then choose our mammography service. For all issues related to men and women's health at any stage in your life, our team can perform the necessary investigations to put your mind at ease and recommend solutions for your problems. If it's to see within your chest or check for broken bones and fractures, then use our state-of-the-art U-Arm X-ray service. For you aging men and women, we can now check your bone density, which will reduce any complications that may arise with overall bone health, osteoporosis, or arthritis. Health Solutions will provide answers and results in a timely, accurate manner in the most comfortable environment, while you are taken care of by well-trained and experienced staff. Please call us today at 451-2836 or 434-3170, or visit us online at healthsolutionsSVG.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Health Solutions, where we are providing solutions in SVG with care.
We would like to say that Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum is the best rum in the world. And now we can. Voted the world's best rum at the World Rum Awards 2014, Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum. World class in a glass.
Bonnedy Supermarket in Kingstown, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices. At Bonnedy Supermarket number 2, located at Upper Middle Street, we are proud to serve you. We are second to none. Call us at 457-1616. We at Bonnedy Supermarket number 2 will always be here for you. Bonnedy Supermarket, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices.
This election, I want to tell you one thing. You see, we Vinci, what? You see, we not voting you will be again. Never. They want everything for themselves. Everything. They acting like SPG is dead.
27 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour. Things are heating up nicely in SPG.
People, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, I don't like how Labour moving. Every time they have all the big meetings. Only my big money they spending, put them alone. While things in the country getting rough, poor people not making enough. I am appealing to every Vinci. Don't make Labour Party come by. Don't let them come. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run you will be out of your yard.
This government.
And that time is coming close, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the New Times program. And as promised, we're going to open up the phone lines. Time to take some calls, some of your feedback and interaction as to what you've been hearing here so far today on the New Times program. Already, I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, hello, welcome to the program.
Yeah, hi, Colin. Good morning.
Hi, good day, man. How are you? Glad to have you, as always.
I'm doing fine. Last night was good, and tonight is continuing the same pattern as was established last night. Colin, I wanted to make a couple of observations arising out of what Mr. Alan Chasney said last week. So let me get right into that, Colin. He pointed out last night that the Grenadines benefits from the CBI, even while Gonzalez is claiming that he's against it. Typical Gonzalez. Say one thing while something else is happening. And largely, this is because other people are doing things that he claims to politically and on a policy basis to oppose. Now, why am I saying that? Let us cast our minds back, Colin, to COVID. People may recall the height of COVID, when other countries were taking measures to try to protect themselves from the deepening scourge of the disease. Gonzalez was there beating his chest. I'm not closing down SVG, from external. I'm not doing that. what was happening in reality. In reality, Colin, people would recall that other countries had already taken the measures that he was boasting about not taking. Our neighboring countries had already introduced the necessary steps that controlled the movement of people in and out, and that impacted and affected movement of people in and out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Gonzalez, whilst he was boasting and not doing that, St. Vincent don't have to do that. Other people did it for him. And consequently, he benefited, St. Vincent, well, he benefited from being able to beat his chest and call out himself for being so great and so on, simply because he was hiding behind what other people were doing. Typical Gonzalez. But of course, that trickery was exposed when he went further than anyone else with regards to the vaccine mandate. The vaccine mandate that nobody else introduced. But he did. After claiming that he's not shutting down and not doing anything, he introduced the vaccine mandate. That vaccine mandate, as we all know, Colin, turned out to be a disaster to the livelihoods of many people and even overall to the country. But that is Gonzalez. Say one thing, but in the meantime, he's trying a sleight of hand, trying a trick with the other hand. And in a way, that's what's happening with his position regarding the CBI. Because, Colin, there's a flip side to that I've been saying that we need to examine. That when he is shouting and beating down the CBI, what is it that he is holding up dear to himself and dear to the country? A couple of years ago, he was lamenting and shedding tears on the fact that alien land holding revenue was down. People may remember that. Do you remember that, Colin? About 2 years ago. Falling off from revenues from alien land holding. Let us understand the connection that I'm making. He claims that citizenship, or how we put it, is the highest office in the land, and he put out something that is a word that's called ephemeral, something that you can't really hold and see. But he claims that citizen is this thing. Not so? Am I right?
Absolutely.
And it is the highest country, and it is the inner manifestation of all of them fancy things that he gets out there and he talks about. But what really happens? On the contrary, what is land in relationship of land to citizens? Land, in fact, is practically speaking, the highest expression of citizenship, because if you don't have as land space, you don't have a place to call your home. St. Vincent and the Grenadines does not exist. But he is quite willing to see land that could be sold to non-citizens in order to derive revenue. He's quite happy to do that. Now remember that every acre of land that is taken and sold to a non-citizen is an acre of land less than a citizen has access to. Am I right?
Yep.
I am sure that people will see that that is so. But he is very happy to see that people are citizens, and we have all kind of things, but land, which expresses citizenship more really and realistically than anything else, he is happy to see the land alienated. And why? Who benefits? Government, coffers from the alien landholders, and I'm not going very far down that road, but those who are the vendors, those who are the persons selling that land. And I hear some whispers about the place, about who has now controlled significant acreages of land. Now, and what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with it? They're certainly not going to open another plantation, right? So that land is likely to be put up there to be disposed of. To whom? Not to citizens. It is likely to be sold to the very non-citizens that he is claiming that mustn't get passport and all of them kind of, but to get land. Right? And the land is so important. So I just wanted to make that point, right, about the connection between
the hypocrisy of it.
Gonzalez saying one thing, lift the veil and peep behind the meaning and what is happening behind what he is saying. Now, just to wrap up, Colin, and just to make the point that I suspect that on the CBI matter, when the NDP comes to office, it will then be in a position to interact with all of those who may have concerns about the CBI and work with them to resolve those concerns, whether it's the US, whether it's whoever, EU, whoever. Don't forget that it was a similar thing that happened with regards to the external financial sector. There was a lot of noise, a lot of things happening and so on. We sat down across the table. The region sat down across the table and worked out how that could be done to everybody's interest. So I suspect that a similar approach is going to take place. The NDP can't do that now. It has to wait until it gets into office. So let me just say, thanks to Alan Chasney for pointing out and pointing us to the real duplicity, and the real turning around and twisting around that we can associate with Gonzalez. I wanted to make those points.
Thank you. Thank you.
If there's anything, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
It is clear, ladies and gentlemen. You could fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. I am glad that the Honorable Alan Chastney made that presentation last night, and the way in which he did it, revealing the type of man that we have here. Like you say, totally doesn't agree and support the position of the man that we have here on that of the Citizen by Investment Program. But what it does show is how much of a hypocrite he is, and that he is willing to say whatever it takes and willing to throw all his colleagues across the region under the bus simply to say and do whatever it takes to win an election here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Folks, there were a lot of powerful messages at that meeting last night in Mala Village in East Kingston. As we continue, here is Sister Laverne Gibson-Villux and what she had to say at that meeting last night.
Good night, East Kingston. Good night to the people of Mala Village. The East has again come to meet the East. East St. George is in the house. And you know what is happening in East St. George. We have an elected representative out there who is also the Minister of Finance. He does not come into the constituency. You can't see him no how, no time, no place. He has left East St. George to run down like some kind of old house, especially the town of Caliacroix. We want better for East St. George. We want representation of quality in East St. George. Now, he has a set of people that walk around for him. Yeah, they're his feet and they're his mouth. And they make the excuse that he's caught up with official duties as Minister of Finance. Nobody vote for him to be Minister of Finance. His priority is the constituency of East St. George and the people who live there. He's supposed to go out and make sure that he represents us to the best of his ability. And obviously, he doesn't have a lot of ability because the constituency looks like nothing. We have drains that are smelly. We have a police station that is breaking down. Clinics in Calico and East St. George that should be just, they just broken down and get new ones rebuilt. And he is doing nothing about it. We, the people of East St. George, and I say we because I live in East St. George, we have had problems like every place else in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but I think ours is the worst because for 10 years he has sat as the representative for the constituency and did nothing about roads until 6 months before elections. Is that what we're supposed to vote for? Is that respect for us, the constituents of East St. George? I could give you a little story. They were fixing a road right before my house. No, it's 4 years. 4 years they started it. And they were coming up the road nicely. And then they saw me. The road stopped. 4 years later, the road is still in that condition. And they think I am the only one driving on it. But I could tell them, hundreds of people in East St. George use that road on a daily basis. And if he ain't fix it, I go and fix it. Look how many people we have in East St. George who got damaged from Hurricane Beryl. But they're walking around picking and choosing who to give relief money to, who to give materials to. Well, they pick so much, they miss out some of their own constituents. Now they are complaining to me, I just vote Labour and they ain't give me none. But I understand the purpose behind that is that they're keeping the burial relief material and the money so that they could give to their constituents, their Labour Party supporters who did not vote for them last election to bring them out. You could cry till the cows come home. These people understand that I do not practice divisiveness in East St. George. Whatever I have is for everybody in East St. George. And I will represent the constituency without fear or favor. Everybody will be considered. Every village, every nook, every cranny will get my assistance. I need to ask his, I don't know what to call them, maybe his agents or whatever they are in East St. George, to stop hoarding the material. Give it to the people. Let them move back into their homes where they can be comfortable. East St. George, we deserve better. Then I want to talk about the young people of East St. George. The people that those are the people who this representative passes and he fist bumps them. Just get them a bump. And then it's, fellas, you want a drink? They say no. He throw down some money and he gone. Disrespect, because he doesn't realize that he's supposed to talk to these people. They are the young voters of this country. They have minds of their own. They can think. They have voices. They want to be heard. They are the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we need all hands on deck in the development of this country. They have left this country to run down for far too long. I said to the youth of East St. George and St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a whole, an NDP government under Dr. Godwin Friday is youth-centric. We have plans for you. We have you as our priority. We have put you on the front burner. we are going to introduce our National Athletes Program, where we are going to identify talent from early and hone that talent so that you can reach to the stage of getting scholarships to go to universities. There's so many professions that can come out just out of an interest in sports. We also have our youth guarantees every young person either a job, an apprenticeship, or the opportunity to learn a skill to earn a decent living within the first 5 years of our government. You ever hear a good government like that before in St. Vincent? We're going to be a good government. We're going to be a good government so that everybody in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including the young people, can thrive. Young people, what the New Democratic Party has for you is exciting stuff. Things you never heard about before. You have been given consideration never before seen in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I'll tell you something else. People of East St. George, people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, if you haven't gotten what they're offering this election in the last 25 years, you don't need it. And it ain't gonna happen again. This is just to make sure that they stay in office for another term. We can't allow that to happen. We have to end. I'm going to call it the scourge. We have to end it, and we have to end it now. All of us, when you think about that wicked vaccination mandate, when you think about healthcare, the poor quality of healthcare in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, when you think about the murder rates, when you think about 42% unemployment among youth, there is absolutely no reason to return the Unity Labour Party to government in this country again. We have had enough. It ends here. It ends now. And Dr. Godwin Friday would lead this team. And as he puts it, the best team ever put together in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He would lead us to victory so we can run this country as it's supposed to be run. Not for friends, family, what else, Laverne? And foreigners. Just for us. We have to start developing our country so that we could lead better lives, more productive lives, and that our children, and I have a granddaughter, she lives in Barbados, but I want her to come back here, but not now. When NDP wins, I'm going to make sure that she comes back to St. Vincent so she could see what good government is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not done yet. Fitz Bramble is an amazing representative for this constituency, East Kingstown. And this constituency has been held for 40 consecutive years by the New Democratic Party, and Fitz ain't letting go. So you have to go out and you have to vote. Don't say he win already, you ain't going. Go out and vote. All Vincentians on election day, whenever it is called, they could delay it for as much as possible. You're not going to change your minds. We are changing this government in 2025. Thank you very much.
Dedicated to meeting the needs of our customers.
This election, I want to tell you one thing. You see, we Vinci, what? You see, we're not voting you will be again. Never. They want everything for themselves. Everything. They acting like SPG is theirs. But SPG belongs to we. But it's ours. People, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I don't like how Labour moving. Wicked. Every time they have all the big meetings. Only for big money they spending. Put them alone. While things in the country getting rough, poor people not making enough. I am appealing to every Vinci. Don't make Labour Party come Don't let them come. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run you will be out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run you will be out.
10 minutes away from the 1 o'clock hour, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, we're going to keep the tempo going, because at that meeting last night, it was a fiery presentation after fiery presentation. And I'm going to play you the two Lavons back to back. You just heard from Lavon Gibson Velox from East St. George. The PR of the New Democratic Party was also on fire at that meeting last night in East Kingston. When I tell you on fire, you don't want to believe me? Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the Public Relations Officer of the New Democratic Party had to say at that meeting in East Kingston last night.
Are you ready?
DJ, thank you. Mala Village, I tried to stop the message, but we know they can't hold me back. Wherever little voodoo they send, they tell them they can't walk because the NDP train is moving forward and we're going all the way to victory and nothing can stop me. A little light out can't hold me back. Mala Village, how you doing? If you're ready to go to the polls and vote for your representative, the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, let me hear you show him some love. This evening I've come here with a simple task. My job here is to bring you the truth. And I want to ask your permission, Fitz, that as I am in your constituency, that I could talk it without holding water in my mouth. I could do that? Don't hold it back. Now I know that there are several of you who have seen, and we all accept, that this government is the most corrupt government that we have ever seen in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we know it because there are several ministries in Kingstown that can be in government buildings, but instead, what they have chosen to do is to continue to rent from their friends so that they can get kickbacks. And I'm going to shed some light on you, Father, that we have seen that this government has created a culture where everything seems to be in temporary housing, and it should not be that way. And I'm going to draw to your attention the fact that this government and this Prime Minister simply does not care. How long now has a girls' high school been in a temporary shed? Too long. How long now has Fitz been asking for the hard court down that side to be fixed? Too long. How long? And that is the Sign Hill Hard Court. The Dixon Community Center. How long have we been asking for that to be fixed up in North Windward? Now I want you to remember this because I think we memory short. When our Prime Minister came to office, he spent millions on refurbishing what we call the Taj Mahal. You remember when Lynch used to talk about it? That man spent millions of our taxpayers' money. And I'm going to show you something. In 2018, I remember telling you come with the facts and the receipts. In 2018, after spending millions of dollars to basically rebuild a new home, he went and he spent $100,000 for his comfort. And then in 2019, he spent again on the home that he is living in for your taxpayers' money, $75,000. And then he go again in 2020 and he refurbished the same home that he spent millions on. He spent another $50,000. By now, we could have already built 10 homes for people who are poor and vulnerable in this country. We could have already fixed Girls High School. We could have already fixed the Dixon Community Center. This is after he spent millions on refurbishing the house for himself. And if that wasn't enough, in 2021, he go again and he spent another $75,000 on his comfort. And then in 2022, he spent another $75,000. And then again in 2023, he go again and he spent the next gift system, and the Prime Minister spent $65,000 on his comfort. That is not good enough. DJ, let me get rid of them. Let me get rid of them. Because we must get rid of this ULP government. DJ, come here, holding me back there.
Consecrate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this. DJ, give me the wrong song, so throw it away. I'll tell you something. What that means is that in the past 5 years, that our Prime Minister has spent over $500,000 for himself. $500,000, and get this, me not even start to talk about the vehicle and them where he had change. So if I was supposed to add in the cost for those SUVs that you see he driving around with, on top of this $500,000, how much of your tax money that he don't spend on himself, but your children and them going to school with fleas and all other things that bite them up, where the community centers remains closed? That is not good enough, and for that we must get rid of them. I come in tonight with the truth. And I know that Sister Velox was just up here and she was talking about how much people get affected by burial, and we can't see the people who really should be getting the help getting it. Now, I'm not going to say that I know I could get a water break, not true. How much you spend on? I don't think Dr. Friday will be happy if I say that on the mic. You see the people them up here where the Just Bus crew come from, all not easy. All not easy at all. But I see Sister Velox was talking about the burial assistance. And I want to tell you this. In Canawan, where I am from, they want to say that them spend money down the pan way. But I could tell you it's a lie. Big up Mr. Waste. I want to tell all you something. That those of us who travel to Kingston daily, that you know the New Democratic Party has a headquarters that was built by Sir James Mitchell. Right? And the NDP is not in charge of no building material. No, you have a next red building up the road. Them never did a build headquarters before. No, that burial material in the country, whose headquarters is he building up? So ask yourself, if the building material not going to the people who should be getting it, where it going? Me not going to tell you, I think you're going to answer that one yourself. Because if they never have material before, and they suddenly have material now to be building headquarters, and the people who are affected by Hurricane Beryl are not getting the assistance, then it must be going somewhere. It must be going somewhere. So when you ask yourself this, that if they have a track record of putting themselves first and putting their comfort first, then ask yourself, where is the burial material going? Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Fitzgerald Brown asked me to do one thing tonight, and that was to say to you what the plans of the New Democratic Party is as it relates to the young people of this community. And whenever you see them go online and they say NDP plan, make sure that you tell them back what I tell you tonight. So if you're ready to hear plans, just say plans, and we can go. So the New Democratic Party is aware that we have a lot of people, and I see my friend Jasper down there, who are very, very talented and skilled and have entrepreneurial pursuits. And in this community, we have people like the Cat in the Rain. You heard a song there too? It's a man who sing them song there. And you have the Just Bus Camp, and you know we can't ignore them. They have a load of tune will come
coming out for the carnival season again. You DJ and I from Just Bus Camp. But the point of it is this, that if we have so many talented young people, but there's no investment in them, tell me, how do we expect them to reach their full potential? And so that is why the New Democratic Party has said to you that we are going to invest in a home for the cultural arts, and we're going to call it the John Hahn Community Cultural Development Center. Ladies and gentlemen, that is something to put your hands and clap for. We want to know that if you're supposed to have a show in Kingston or in some other area, because I don't know just yet where he is going to build it, and we need to decentralize Kingston, that you should have a venue that can house more than 200 people. Too many of our young talents are being held back simply because they prefer to spend $500,000 on themselves and not invest it in the young people of this country. And the New Democratic Party is going to change that. So plan number one, a home for those of you who are into the cultural and creative arts. The next thing the New Democratic Party has said, and when I was coming across, I see a young man. He was going with a cat and a pram, and he had more snacks in the pram than he had. The pram was too small to carry the snacks. So I said to him, brethren, you know, see the business bigger than the pram. And I want to tell him what the New Democratic Party is going to do for him tonight. The NDP has said that we recognize that when it comes on to young people and poor people picnic, that we know you don't have no money to go to the bank with collateral. And so when you go to the commercial bank and they want to give you a loan for 12 and 13 and 15%, and you don't have a title deed for put up, the New Democratic Party is going to invest in what we call the Development Bank. And what the Development Bank is going to do for you is it's going to provide the funding so that when the boy with the pram go across and they say, I have a business idea, I have some snacks where to sell. And guess what? I could do it more than just snacks. I could build up a snacket, but I need about $30,000. He don't need $500,000. He need just $30,000 to build up that shed so that he could provide job for himself and two other people from right here in Mala Village. The New Democratic Party, through the Innovation Hub and through the Development Bank, is going to give you that $30,000 and provide for you the mentorship to ensure that your business idea comes out of your head and comes to fruition. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me to give you more plans. That is plans from the New Democratic Party for the young people of this community. And I want to give you the last one before I come down. Everybody know that Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble was one of the best goalkeepers we ever had in this country. Big up Fitz, whoever he in the crowd. The New Democratic Party has said that I recognize all over this country we have a set of playing fields where grass take them over, bush a grow on them, animal a mess on them, and nobody now fix them up. So guess what we are going to do for the young people? In every single constituency, you are going to now have, through a New Democratic Party government, at least in our first year in office, one lit, properly maintained, hardcore sporting facility so you could go and have your evening sweat. Because if you're expected to go to work and come home and make an honest living, then it means if you want to go on recreational time, you must be able to train and have your sweat in the night time. It can't be that by the time you leave work and you hustle home in the traffic, it's already 6 o'clock, it's already sunset. You can enjoy the playing field if it is at that time. So the New Democratic Party, just like how we know that Brother Fitz Bramble made his way and got his scholarship through sports, we are going to ensure that other young people from right here in this community can benefit and grow and develop in such a way through sports development. Ladies and gentlemen, that is plans from the New Democratic Party for the young people. And I will leave here by saying this to you. I heard I can't find nobody for run against Fitz. I hear them try and them try to ask a man where they over there so for pack up himself and come home and he say, oh God, afraid. They ask another man for run and he say, boy, I don't know. But I hear that the beaten stick want to run again. And if it's so he loves legs, it's so we going pass it. If it's so he loves legs, it's so we going pass it. So tell him if he want to come and run here in East Kingston again, that we welcome him to come back, because if he take fits and beat him bad before, well, this time is a knockout punch, because we know that Fitzgerald Bramble is going to be bringing back home this seat to the New Democratic Party. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a good MP in Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble. He continues to represent you well in Parliament. And I'm telling you that you should not let down one of the most hard-working members of our team. And if you see Fitz, when us work so hard in opposition, doing so much for you, oh God, I'm excited to see you as a minister. And Fitz, I cannot wait. Please show your homeboy, Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, some love. Mother Village, thank you so much and have a good night.
I want to tell you one thing. You see, we Vinci, what? You see, we're not voting you will be again. Never. They want everything for themselves. Everything. They acting like SPG is theirs. But SPG belongs to we. But the balance is ours. Ours. People, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I don't like how Labour moving. Every time they have all the big meetings. Only my big money they spending. Put them alone. While things in the country getting rough. Poor people not making enough. I am appealing to every Vinci. Don't make Labour Party come by. Don't let them come. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run you will be out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
When the children cry, we don't get real.
Run you will be out of your yard.
How you run them all
out of your yard.
Run them all
out of your yard.
Run them
out of your yard.
Run your LP
out of your yard.
Run them
out of your yard.
Run them
out of your yard.
How you run them
out of your yard.
Run your LP
out of your yard.
Vinci people losing their mind. Things real rough. Things getting harder all the time. Harder. Poor people can't maintain their home. No. So many people struggling alone. Things in the country keep getting dreaded. We keep fighting for daily bread. Year after year inside the campaign. We can't take another 5 years again. No. Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run you will be out of your yard.
This government treated me too bad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
Before the last
Man, I'm telling you,
run you will.
If you ain't fired up and excited for what is to come,
run you will be out of your yard.
then you're sure as hell fired up and ready. And like I say, as soon as Carnival done, we taking it into the next gear. Your last night's meeting was fiery after fiery. And I want to play another presentation. The only reason why I'm not playing the major today because I know come tomorrow, Bud is going to want to feature the major tomorrow. So I'll leave in the major for tomorrow because the major was fiery last night too. But what I want to do is give you a taste now because we're in the final segment of the New Times program. We had 9 minutes now after the 1 o'clock hour. I want to play Chieftain Neptune because Chieftain Neptune was on top of his game last night as well at that meeting. Hey, when I tell you, man, I can't wait to see what is going to happen. I know the kind of energy and the kind of vibe that is going to come after the carnival season because, like I said, we're taking a break with our village meetings. And then right after carnival, we're going to be back again at it because, right after carnival, we're going to turn up the tempo some more, ladies and gentlemen, because we are in it this year. It's an election year. Chieftain Neptune was in full form last night. I have so much confidence that this gentleman will continue to chip away to the point where he may bring the biggest surprise in the upcoming general elections this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Fitz, the DJ gave me Fitz music for last election. And I think that's a good thing, you know. Mala Village, I think that's a good thing for me. You know what that means? That means victory. First, let me acknowledge the protocol that went before me. It's a pleasure for me to be standing here, as we will say, on the rock of Gibraltar on the mainland. So Mala Village, I'm happy to be here, and I'm bringing greetings from North Central Windward. East Kingston. East Kingston. I want to win Toronto. East Kingston, I want to be in Parliament with my colleagues Toronto. Okay. Now, I've been hearing, people have been coming to me, and I've been hearing rumors that when the New Democratic Party forms government, that there will be persons, there will be people losing their job. But tonight, I am here to tell all Vincentians that the New Democratic Party has been promoting jobs and jobs and more jobs, so that feel safe that no one will be losing their jobs. Now, you would have heard us time and time again saying we want to diversify our economy. We want to build our economy, and not just as they are trying to do now. They say agriculture was a thing of the past. The New Democratic Party is saying agriculture is now, and it's one of our pillars. We are also saying tourism is now, and it's one of our pillars. We are also saying the blue economy is now, it's one of our pillars. And the new economy is now, and it's one of our pillars. But we didn't stop there. We went into priorities, and we came up with 5 priorities. Vincentian. You see? Come, I can hold it. Vincentian. Our first priority is creating more and better paid job. When we came up with this priority, we realized that there's a high unemployment rate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we said we will create more. But we didn't stay there. We say we will create more and better paid jobs, because our Vincentians are also being paid low wages. So we are not just high on unemployment, we have low wages. And we say to you, we, the New Democratic Party, will create more and better paying jobs. That's one. 2, we are saying not just your friends, your family, and foreigners will benefit from the New Democratic Party, but we are saying to you that every single Vincentian will benefit. Every single Vincentian will have an opportunity in our land, in this beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We will create opportunities for all. I'm tired of seeing our young people leaving school in droves and migrating from what we call a greener pasture. I'm tired of seeing mothers and fathers have to leave their family behind for what we call a greener pasture. The New Democratic Party is saying to you, Vincentians, that we are going to create opportunities for all. 3, we all know what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Crime is out of control. We know this. It's been happening. The Unity Labour Party has given up. They throw their hands in the air and they blame everybody but themselves. And knowing that our Prime Minister is the Minister of National Security. The New Democratic Party is saying to you, Vincentians, that we will make St. Vincent and the Grenadines safe again. Just the other day, colleagues, I'm in a bar sitting down and I'm having a cold, beastly cold high roll. Not with that name, with Godwin. And while I'm there, a gentleman run in the bar and say, Neptune, you brave boy, and run back outside. And then for a minute I'm saying, oh wow. I continue to be brave for 1 minute and then I left too. Because I understand what the gentleman was saying. And the New Democratic Party has a plan to combat and reduce crime in our beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines and make St. Vincent safe again. We have the Major who time and time again speak to crime. And I'm right here alongside him, ready to form government to fight crime here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But we are not just here idly. We have, headed by the Major, we have the GenSec, myself, we have formed a committee, and we already start the ball rolling. So we are here preparing to form government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and from the very first day, we will start to reduce crime here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It will be safer for you, the people of St. Vincent. Then we went on, we said, we want to ensure safe healthcare services here in St. Vincent, not for a few, but for all Vincentians. We want to make sure that quality health services are accessible for all Vincentians. You must not get a bus head and run to Barbados. And a lady had an operation, and because of 1 foot of socks, she died. Or a lady have a bellyache, and she died. But when anything happened to you and your family, you fly out. The New Democratic Party is saying, we will make sure every single Vincentian have access to quality healthcare. Full stop. And then we know there are the infrastructures, the roads and the buildings. The ULP have a track record. They love to build big, but they can't maintain. And that's it. And big and shiny object, but they cannot maintain these buildings. The New Democratic Party is saying, yes, we will build big, modernized building. But not just that. We will make sure that these buildings, these roads, these infrastructures will be maintained. So we are not just building buildings and fix it, but we will be able to maintain these infrastructures. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you right now, in your mind, to take a snapshot of what is going on in St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now. You have the road gangs out. You have more workers in the farming industry than ever. Construction is booming right now, but it's a political and an election gimmick. We know it's a gimmick. This happens every 4.5 years. But I want you to take a snapshot of it because you will see what it is like under a new Democratic Party, because that will be happening year in and year go under a new Democratic Party. It will not be an election gimmick, but you will be employed and gainfully employed, and it will be sustainable for you and your family. We are saying to you, we want you to control your destiny. We don't want you to come to beg us. Don't come to beg us. We will provide the opportunities for you, Vincentians, so that you will control your destiny. You will say, when I'm going on a vacation. You will say, when I'm sending my child to school. That is for you to decide and not us. They want us to beg and borrow like the way they are running the country now. We say no to that. The new Democratic Party will provide jobs, will provide opportunities for all Vincentians. And I'm saying to you tonight, Mala Village, I'm saying to you tonight, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this election is no joke. This election is no joke. It is time for a change. But this change is for you, the people. The people have to come together for this change. Without you, there can't be any change. There's a saying, the power of the people, which is you and you and you and me, is greater than them in power. So I'm saying, the change is yours, my people. The change is yours to hold on to. And the new Democratic Party, we are the vehicle that will take you and make that change together. Together, we can achieve more. Together, we will make that change that St. Vincent deserve and you deserve. And together, we will go into a brighter future for all. Mala Village, East Kingston, continue to be the rock of Gibraltar. And help me, chieftain, and make sure you go out and you vote and you vote and you vote for your very own, my brother, a mentor of mine, Mr. Fitzgerald Bramber. DJ, when I was coming in there, I hear a song. I say it's a long time I ain't heard this song. And we set the pace. See if you find out before I leave here, DJ. And we set the pace, NDP, oi. You have it? No. Give me it. Hey. And we set the big up yourself, DJ. Big up yourself, DJ. Mala Village, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Play the tune, play the tune, play the tune. Mala Village. That is Chieftain Neptune. Play, play.
We set the pace. NDP. We set the pace.
This election, I wanna tell you one thing. One thing. You see, we Vinci. What? You see, we not voting you will be again.
Man, I'm telling you, what a energy, what a vibe in Mala Village, East Kingston last night. The NDP.
But it's ours. Ours. People, let me tell you something.
And what a way to put the campaign trail to a little pause while we take a break for the carnival season. After which, the New Democratic Party will return with even more energy as we get ready to head in to the meat of things. Election 2025.
Run you will be out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
When the children cry, we don't get real.
Run you will be out of your yard.
How you run them? All
out of your yard.
Run them. All
out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
Run your LP.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
How you run them?
Out of your yard.
Run your LP.
Out of your yard.
Vinci people losing their mind. Things really wrong. Things getting harder all the time. Harder.
And like I said, we turning up the tempo.
No. So many people.
I don't know much about you, but I'm ready to go to the polls right now.
Country keep getting dread. We keep fighting for daily bread. Year after year inside the campaign.
So let me say good night to Mala Village. Let me say good night to Mala Village. I say good night. Let me say good night to Mala Village.
Run you will be out of
East Kingston.
Government treated me too bad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
And wherever you're listening to the program today,
Children cry, we don't get
yeah, man.
Run you will be out of your yard.
I want to run them.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
I want to run them.
Out of your yard.
Run your LP.
Out of your yard.
Let me pick up Pops. I was liming with a elderly gentleman there last night. Boy, please forgive me, but I can't remember the name. But it's the first man I meet when I got there last night, Pops, and the last man I shout when I was leaving there last night.
It's pressure on them.
So he's always listening to the New Times program. And he was present, please, there last night from the very beginning right up to the very end. So, Pops, let me say good day to you, man.
They want to keep us living in fear. That's all they want in the country. Every time you go and protest, there's a problem.
And I know the same way that you were there early last night is the same way you're going to be there on election day in your polling division early to cast your vote for Fitzgerald Bramble.
Things in SVG getting too hard.
Run you will be out of your yard.
This government treating me too bad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
Before the lack of work drive me mad.
Run you will be out of your yard.
When the children cry, we don't get real.
Run you will be out of your yard.
How you run them?
Out of your yard.
I run them.
Out of your yard.
I run them.
Out of your yard.
Run your LP.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
Run them.
Out of your yard.
How you run them? From
out of your yard.
Run your LP.
Out of your yard.
Run Canelo.
Out of your yard.
Run Sabato.
Out of your yard.
Run Ralphie.
Out of your yard. Out of your yard.
But hey, gotta let you know that even though we come into an end with the village meetings, there's still plenty of activities being put up by the New Democratic Party. We want to encourage you to be part of the Mix and Mingle 4.0 boat ride that's going to be heading to Myro as part of the Central Leeward constituency division along with the Central Leeward Young Dems as they present Mix and Mingle 4.0 boat ride. It's heading to Myro Sunday the 13th of July. And that's going to be on board the MV Gem Star. Tickets are going to be just $80. Make sure that you get your tickets to this one, all right?
Properly gone. What hidden in darkness must come out in light. Yes. Don't you be a coward. Just stand up and fight. Remember they fight the teachers like they have no right. Remember? Forcing them to take vaccine. All of that was spite. Enough is enough. The people say they can't.
And you know I can't forget me peoples in East St. George as well.
Enough is enough.
Time to come and join Sister Laverne Gibson Velox and East St. George for the big Domino and Pedro competition. It's happening on Saturday, June 28th. Saturday, June 28th. It's going to be happening at the Calico Square, kicking off from 1 p.m. There's going to be lots of prizes in the Domino competition. First prize, $500. Second place, $350. Third place is going to be $200. And don't talk about the Pedro. First place, you can win yourself $300. Second place, $200. And third place, $100. Lots of food and drinks will be on sale. And like I say, it's going to be happening Saturday, June 28th. Calico Square, East St. George. Come and join Sister Laverne Gibson Velox in the big Domino and Pedro competition. But I'm telling you,
It's enough. The people say they can't now. I hear that again and again. Enough is enough. The people say they can't now. They can't. This country in shambles. People can't get work. Young girls on the corner begging for a buck. Why? If you don't believe, come out after 6. Nah. The things you will see on the street, you can't believe it. Enough is enough. The people say they gone now. What I tell you? Family gone. Enough is enough. The people say they gone now.
like I would say, all I have to say to our listeners today is let us keep up the momentum. Let us keep up the energy. When the New Democratic Party calls a village meeting, constituency meetings, rallies, events, functions, whatever, we want to encourage you to come on out and be a part of the energy. Be a part of the vibe. Be a part of the movement and the push for change in this country, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, like I said, the NDP is going to be taking a break with its constituency and village meetings until after the carnival season. But it does not stop the activities and events that the NDP will be staging between now and then. And then, of course, after the carnival season comes to an end, we will continue to pump up the volume as we head straight into general elections in this country. We've got to take this opportunity as we get ready to wrap up on the program. And like I said, we are heading into the carnival season. Well, we're in the carnival season now. And there are lots of songs, music that's coming out for the carnival season. This is one of the brothers out of East St. George, goes by the name of Boney Man. Listen this.
St. Vincent long ago was hailed the rich and strem. Salaries were low, but life was still good then. Then drugs and crime showed up. That one man vowed he'll fix. He asked for 2 full terms. Now he asking for 6. He promised to be tough on drugs and crime. When comes to serious crime, he missing all the time. The toughest man on crime seems missing all the time. Dispatch and man on crime keeps flashing all the time. He calling for world peace when there's no peace at home. He wants to fix the wall. It's time he fix the own home. 30 years ago, no gangsters ruled the tongue, no high maintenance girls, no prostitution. Now we tap the murder chart, 50 plus alone last year. We losing all we youths, does anybody care? With 5 commissioners, 5 full terms in a row. One night, 5 youths gone down. It's time for them to go. Mass murders in town, says the news headline. The toughest man on crime went missing another time. He wants to fix the wall and do it all alone. St. Vincent needs a fix. It's time he fix his own home. St. Vincent years ago. I was not even born when children drank cow's milk with arrowroot and corn. Oh, farmers walk the land, they feed the whole nation. Banana was green gold, the economy was strong. Today when I look around, it pains my heart with grief when I behold the crowds line up for poor relief. Our input bill sky high, 2.5 billion.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to shut it down for another edition of the New Times program today. It was my pleasure being here with you on the program. Join us again tomorrow, right here on Nice Radio for another edition. I was your host today, Colin Graham, and as always, may the Most High continue to guide us and protect us, especially in these trying times. Until next time, stay blessed.